Today we are going over how to generate an extra $3,500 in rebookings for your salon, completely automated. If you don't know me, my name is MJ. I am the founder of Chairflow, and we help salons increase their rebooking rates via automation, right? So let's just get into it, right? So let's go over the core problem around why you can't get rebookings consistently, right? So it stems around this, right? Most salon owners believe they have an attraction problem, right? They think they need more Instagram followers, more leads, a massive ad budget. But the truth is, you don't have an attraction problem. You just have a leaky bucket, right? You're getting clients that are coming in, but you're not keeping them, right? So you just live in this constant hamster wheel of clients coming in and leaving, and you just end up burning cash and not creating the lifetime value that you need to be profitable, right? So let's just go over the data, right? Boulevard, which is a salon booking software, came out with this article which said that 45% of new clients on average return to the salon after the first visit, right? So this means that almost more than half of your new clients are not coming back, right? And the interesting thing is that they found that 71% of clients who complete a second appointment go on to book a third, right? So what is the takeaway here? The takeaway is that the most important visit that you should be optimizing for is the second visit, right? Because this is the tipping point for lifelong loyalty, right? And they also found out that the third time a client comes to you, they have a 79% chance of booking the fourth appointment, right? So it is key that we nail this second time appointment and make sure that they come back, right? So how do we do that, right? How do we actually nail that and make sure they come back the second time? Well, that would be via an automated rebooking flow, right? So what is this? This is a 5-stage behavior triggered loop, right? So this isn't just a spammy, send and hope type of email to your entire list. No, it is triggered based on behavior, and it is extremely targeted, right? It doesn't require a human to hit send. And the second a client pays at your point of sale or your booking software, the clock starts ticking and the engine slash automation takes over, right? So what is the result? Well, we ran this exact behavior driven logic in the background, right? The email automations, and we recaptured a ton of revenue, right? As you saw in the beginning of the video, we recaptured an extra $3,500 in pure baseline bookings, right? Without any front desk or any sort of manual labor that was required, right? We built it once and it just kept on sending out emails, right? So what were the types of emails within that automation, right? Because this is extremely important, because you can nail the technology, but if you don't nail the psychology, then all of it doesn't really matter, right? So the first email is a founder thank you, right? After they come to your salon for the first time ever, right? A founder thank you email should go out to them, right? So what is this? This is a highly personal text-based email from the founder thanking the client for trusting the salon with the hair, right? So let's go over the psychology. Well, the important thing in this email is to explicitly ask them to reply to the email if they have any hidden concerns, right? Because as I'm sure you know, sometimes when you get a haircut done or a hairstyle or a color, you may not be happy, right? But you're not that confrontational, so you don't want to, tell the stylist, etc., etc. And you may have clients like this that come to your salon. They may have an issue or may have a concern with the hairstyle that they had, and because you don't give them the opportunity to voice that concern with you, they just are going to ignore you forever and go to another salon, right? Because they are unsatisfied, right? But if you give them the opportunity to voice that, and then you can say, oh no, I'm so sorry that happened. Come in, we're gonna, give you a free, whatever the case may be, right? Now they feel heard. They feel like, you actually care about them, right? They don't feel like they're talking to this big company or this big, corporation that doesn't, care about their feelings whatsoever, right? Because many clients are shy, and, they just smile, pay, and never come back, and you will never know, right? So this creates a safe, private, environment for them to voice their concerns, which is extremely important for you as a salon owner, right? The second email is a review request, right? As I'm sure you know, right, when it comes to Google rankings and Google reviews, reviews are extremely important, especially for when it comes to SEO and things of that nature, right? So once the client confirms that, they love the hairstyle, right, the second email should go out, which is, basically asking them to leave a public review, right? So just strike the iron while it's hot, right? Confidence is high, they're feeling good, they're happy, so this increases the probability of them making a booking. So you're not making a booking, writing a review about how happy they are with with the service, right? And yeah, another key point to add in the email is to add, 5-star reviews, right? So that they can see that other people do enjoy the service as well, right? Social proof is extremely important, right? So just add 3 to 5 reviews in the email, just in the footer, and yeah, that'd be good. A third thing is to have personalized hair care tips, right? So what I mean by personalized is that the hair care tip should be specific to the hairstyle that they got, right? So if someone got a balayage, if someone got curls, extensions, color, right, the email should talk about their specific hairstyle that they got, right? So if one client got color, it's gonna say how to, keep your color fresh day to day after your hair appointment was completed, right? Someone got a balayage, it'll be how to sleep with your balayage and not mess it up at night, etc., etc. Here's a nighttime routine for curls, etc., etc. You see how it's all personalized, right? And personalization is extremely important, especially when it comes to automation, because this is the only way that you can make it one-to-one, right? The psychology, well, you're also transitioning from a service provider to an educational authority, right? You're showing that you care about their hair even when they aren't in your chair, right? And this is extremely valuable because humans are extremely reciprocal, right? We reciprocate when good things happen to us. We feel that we have the duty to do good things back as well, right? So if your neighbor or a friend of yours buys you something, when it's their birthday, you're gonna feel obligated to get them something as well, right? That's just how we operate as human beings. So you should use that psychological trigger in your email marketing to make sure that it increases the probability of them making a booking with you again, right? And then the fourth email is, the call to action, time to rebook, right? So this is typically 4, 6, or 8 weeks after the appointment has occurred, right? And it is all connected to your booking software, so you're not guessing, right? So the content is that a low friction notification. Basically, the email is notifying them that it is time for that maintenance, of it is time for them to redo their hair, right? And it is important that you use scarcity, urgency, and make sure that you aren't pitching them. Make sure that you're just asking them or like reminding them that it is time for them to come back into your chair, right? And another thing you can do if you're feeling super cheeky is that you can add like a small discount on the third or fourth email when it comes to rebooking. Just a small discount to increase the probability of them booking, just 5%, or something free like a free wash or free shampoo, etc., etc., right? Something just to get them over the edge. So let's just recap a bit. So the 45% reality, right? You need to stop chasing cold traffic entirely, right? You have a gold mine in terms of the database you have of clients sitting who have emails that you do not follow up with and you do not email on a weekly basis, right? So make sure you do that because you're missing out on tons of money. A tipping point, right? Nailing the second visit is the holy grail, right? If you can nail this will be the gateway and the key to lifelong loyalty for your salon, right? The automated trifecta, right? You cannot scale this manually. You need a behavior triggered engine handling the rebooking automation in the background, right? And lastly, personalization and proof equals bookings, right? As I mentioned, personalization is extremely key as it is the only way to make automation one-to-one and make them feel heard and understood, right? Nonetheless, this is the end of the video. I hope you found it valuable. If this sounds like something you'd be open to for your salon, you can go down to the link in the description. Go to my website, chairflow.co, and we will just build out the automation for you for a free week and show you how many bookings you can get. If this sounds like something you'd be open to, just do that. And goodbye. Hope you found this valuable.